definitely, it's the same story that I hear from a lot of people, and it's always just, you got to struggle and you got to get through it. And I think through that struggle, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think through that struggle is when you really find yourself if this is something you want to do or you don't want to do. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's today's podcast with Kevin and the KR27 group. I appreciate you guys listening. And today I have one of my best friends that I've ever met in the last few months who has helped me out a lot. And he's one of the most baddest killers that comes in sales. He can sell anything. He can sell you a pen. Mr. Omer, how you doing today?
Fired up, Kevin. Good to be here.
Dude, I appreciate you being here. I know a lot of people know how much you mean to me, dude. You're one of my closest friends, dude. I appreciate you a lot, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen, and talk with us. So the purpose of today is just kind of like give people a little bit of an idea of the entrepreneurship and your goals and what you've done and what you've been through and stuff. Kind of like looking back at the past, like a little bit of your struggle, kind of like where you're at now, and then kind of like the future of where you're trying to be.
Yeah, it's crazy because almost exactly 3 years ago, I was another college student that was striving to make his parents proud and didn't really have direction. I knew that I didn't want to be in school. And thankfully, right, in the end of the day, Kevin and I met, we met through the online space. But in the end of the day, I believe every person is destined to be in the position they're in based on the people they surround themselves with. So I think fully one thing that I did do right is I surrounded myself with some killers earlier on. One of them being Marcos, who's one of my best friends and one of my biggest mentors in life. And he, back in 2017, he started a digital marketing agency. He flew out to Colorado. He built it, and I used to live with him in Georgia. And we used to we watched Tai Lopez videos together. But the difference between him and I was that he was really serious about it, while I was just spending my money smoking weed. Not really, didn't really see this being my thing. I didn't know where this was going to take me. But he took it serious. And when he moved to Colorado, a few months later, he met Joel Kaplan, who I know Kevin is familiar with, being both of our mentor now. And him and Joel partnered up on the agency, and they went after chiropractors. They didn't really know what they were doing, but thankfully they started figuring things out slowly but surely. And I always stayed in touch with Marcos, right? This guy I lived with, he made me pay almost no rent. Like, his family always took me under his wing. Like, he really did help me out a lot. So come August 2018, so this was almost 2.5 years ago, he offered me to come work for him. And they were doing about $20,000-$30,000 a month. At the time, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money, but I'm going to turn it down. And I actually turned it down. I actually did not want to go work with them because I was a college student. I was working for Uber. I just got a job at Whole Foods. I was working out. Life felt like I was on the right track. And it's crazy because I turned him down, and I remember Joel called me. Joel and I only met one or two other times, and he forced me to do this. He literally was like, "Dude, this is gonna be the biggest mistake of your fucking life if you do not trust in us and actually make this happen." And and you know what? I trusted him, but I was just like, I still need time to think about it. He still didn't close me. So now my best friend offered it to me. Joel called me, and then I was driving for Uber. I remember it was like Friday, August 6th, August 7th, something like that. I was driving for Uber, and I remember asking 3 passengers in a row. Like, I was already contemplating doing it, but I was like, let me ask these 3 passengers, because at the time I was always having conversations on my Ubers. I'm a 21-year-old kid. Let me see if, what these people are about. And all 3 of my last rides of the night were like, if you don't do this, you're a fucking idiot. You have an opportunity to come back home. Your worst case scenario, you can go back to school, go with your parents. You have this opportunity to do this one time. I remember calling my best friend. He's saying the same thing. And they called my sister, and I was just like tearing up, emotional. I was like, I think I'm gonna do this. So August 10th, I came back home that Friday night after I turned Joel and Marcos down. This was like within a week. I turned them down, and then I come home and I sit my parents down, and I'm like, hey, listen, mom, dad, like, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea how it's gonna happen. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna make it work. And they were crying. They didn't know what to do. I didn't have any money. I had only a few $100s to my name. They gave me like $100. I think I had a total of like $250. And I told them Friday night, and then by Sunday I was already driving. So by Sunday I got in my car and I drove from Georgia to Colorado. to Joel's house. And I remember driving for like 18, 19, 20 hours. I only got like 2 hours of sleep. And as soon as I got there, I started working. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding. I actually, true story, Joel probably doesn't know this, but I actually had another friend in Colorado, and I actually smoked like a little bowl right before. Got a little high. Terrible idea, by the way. On your
gotta relax a little bit, huh?
I know, but it was actually, it gave me severe anxiety because it was my first day of work, and weed already stresses me out sometimes. And I was already high, and I was having to make all these like Asana and Slack tasks, and just thinking in my head, man, I think I made the right decision, but I don't know yet. And Kevin knows this. A lot of people that know my story. I didn't close. I got there August 10th, and I was actually on salary. The reason I got there is I told them, like, guys, I have no money, so you guys have to pay me immediately. So they actually, as soon as I got there, they handed me $2,000 for the month. And that August, September, October, and November, and December, I was on salary. So they paid me close to $10,000 in 5 months, where I only closed like 1 or 2 deals. I didn't even close a deal for like 3.5 months. Thankfully, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They weren't running ads. They didn't know. They weren't familiar with, really, they all their clients that they got to get to 20, 30K a month was 100% organic. So there was pressure on me, but there wasn't. So come January 2019, they sat me down. I actually just talked about this. They sat me down and said, Omer, we love you. Like, you've done great. You're really putting the work in. You have not done great. Sorry, but you put in the work in. The results have not shown. So they put a quota on me. They said, hey, listen, if you don't sell 6K this month, a whole month to sell 3 packages, our packages are $2,000 a month, you're going to have to find a job or not an opportunity. And I told this to Kevin when I met him. I told him that most people either thrive or deprive under pressure. You have 2 options. If you're under pressure, you're either going to succeed or you're not going to succeed. You're going to go underground.
Sink or swim, right?
I'm one of those people, and so is Kevin, where if you put pressure on us, right, for him to feed his kid, to pay his rent, he's going to find a way. Like, he's going to find a way. Same thing with me is I'm going to find a way. I'm not going to make the fucking drive back to Georgia. There's no way I'm driving through Kansas again. So thankfully that week I literally closed 6K, and then I ended up closing like 10, 20, 30K in that month. And I made close to over $200,000 in commissions in 2019 from being completely broke and not knowing what the hell to do. So it was crazy, bro. It took, looking at it now, it took a lot of time. And I really believe that when you are 100% committed into the profession you're in, and you're committed to the clientele that you're in, the way Kevin is with real estate agents, the way I am with agencies, you're going to find a way. There's just going to be a way. And I actually just got off a coaching call with 2 gentlemen. They're also in the real estate niche. And I told them, like, guys, you are literally, the reason you're at, I don't know if they're at 4K, 5K a month, and they've been doing this for quite some time, is not because you guys don't want to make more money. Everybody wants to make more money, but it's because you guys are not aggressive enough. You guys say you want to make more money, but your actions don't actually represent that. So it took me a while, bro. It was a long journey, and I feel like I'm finally leveling up. I think Joel and I, we were talking about today, we're finally leveling up. We're finally stepping into the worlds we want to be. And what's crazy, and I told you the same thing, Kevin, is that we're just getting started. So now we have, I was able to scale Atlas Digital which is the agency, from 40K a month to well over 250K a month. They did over $3 million in 2019, around $2 million in 2020 with COVID obviously being down. So over $5 million in collection in back-to-back years. And then I work now for a company that's up and rising to an 8-figure company. So it's been a blessing, man. It's super humbling because I get to speak with people like you that thank me every day. And I'm like, damn, I'm just a small town Jew, I don't even know what I did, but something I did is right. I did something right. So when you do something wrong, a lot of times it just compounds. So yeah.
Yeah, and I know a few people know, but not everybody that's listening, because a lot of people that listen, they don't know about our group and stuff. But I will tell you, like, Omer changes people's lives to the point that, like, Omer, you want to tell them what I did, dude? What I do when when you told me you were leaving to Colombia? What did I do, bro?
This man got on I don't know if it was one way, but this man got on a flight from San Francisco to San Diego, literally the weekend before I flew out. So he came to see me, I think it was like Thursday, right? And we met up every single day that, I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I literally packed my bags and flew out Sunday. Yeah,
man. That's how much this guy had changed my life. Like, this guy was just, he cares, right? That's the thing with you, man. You care. You're a caring person. And it's always funny. You always tell people, like, hey, if I did it, you could do it. And it's like, no, man. It's obviously you had that drive, right? You're hungry and you wanted to push.
100%. I put myself in situations where I have to succeed. Otherwise, I know what plan B is, Kevin. Shutting down the agency, going to work at the bank. Yeah. I know plan B is going to my parents and like going to find a job somewhere in Johns Creek. I know what plan B is. I knew, now that's not even plan B, but I knew back then what plan B was, right? I know if the sales thing doesn't work, I can get another job in a sales position. I know that. So when you know what plan B is and you're very aware of what plan B is, you have to be aware that at any moment you don't put in the work, plan B becomes plan A.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, and I mean, for you, I mean, it's been going great now, but definitely, it's the same story that I hear from a lot of people. And it's always just, you got to struggle and you got to get through it. And I think through that struggle, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think through that struggle is when you really find yourself if this is something you want to do or you don't want to do.
Dude, it was crazy because you know how much I love music. And when I started with Atlas, I was just thinking about this the other day. Literally within a month, my favorite artist who I grew up with, shout out to Mac Miller, passed away, right? Overdose and all that stuff. And that really hit me home because I feel like I grew up with him. And then my team, so like one thing I love, two things I love outside of business is sports and music. And my team, the Colts, shout out to the Colts, were fucking awful in 2018. They were like 1-5, they couldn't win games. But what's crazy is it was weird because that was the first time in my life that I got actual inspiration from watching a football team, because we started at 1-5, right? We won one game, lost 5. That's terrible. Like, you're out of the playoffs. You're terrible. We ended up winning 8 of the next, 9 games, made the playoffs, won a playoff game. And that was exactly, I swear to God, Kevin, right around that time is when I started picking things up. It's right around that time was like, I don't know what it was, if it was like, if we were working if it was like a synchronicity or whatever it is. So yeah, man, it was a struggle, bro. I believe that I'm a believer now, knowing where in the position I'm in, that nothing great comes from being great. Nothing great comes from just being great. Like, you're not great from day one. It's very rare for you to be great. Becoming an anomaly in sales, becoming an anomaly in business is very rare. So people that struggle, like myself, like Marcos, like you, when you do get to 30, 50, 100K a month, and you do get to buy yourself a house and you do get to enjoy your time, bro, it's worth it so much more. It's so much more worth it. It's crazy because like you and me, one thing that we relate on, most people didn't believe in us, right? Your ex, my mom, like, they just didn't believe in us. They didn't think that we're going to be at the position that we're at. Now
my old friends. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah, friends. It's crazy. And my friends, same thing with my friends. I don't think they were like against me, but they definitely didn't think I was going to be in this position. If I told them when I left in 2018, like, yo, I'm going to make 6 figures. Bro, I hired 15 of my friends. Like, they have jobs inside of agencies because of me, because I didn't quit. I didn't get fired, right? So it's like, it's a complete blessing. I really believe that in life, you have to go through these trials and tribulations and getting punched in the face so much. Most people quit after getting punched in the face 1 or 2 times, but I got punched in the face and spat out and that for so long that eventually now I'm like, look at me now, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, you're like that Chris Brown song, huh? Look at me now, I'm getting paper, huh?
Look at me now.
No, man, I think I know, I definitely agree with you, and I'm with you on that. I don't think that sometimes people they're not against you. I just think that it's just hard for them to believe because, they have this mindset where, and mindset is everything, right? And they have this mindset where, dude, that's hard, right? I mean, I know my story is a little bit different. I don't want to get into my story because I want to know about you, but with me, like, I had a good job. I didn't have a bad job. I had a good career. I had an amazing career, but I walked away. I walked away to go try to do something that, I didn't even know anything about, right?
I think you want freedom.
Freedom, yeah. I mean, it was all about the freedom, man. I mean, even now working, another company, I work commission only, kind of like you do, right? So it's like, it's freedom.
It's one of my friends got it tatted on himself, and it's freedom is priceless. Fucking love. I love that.
Yeah. And I think you can relate with me now that you talk about the whole plan B, right? And I think now something I've talked about with some people when I tell them, like, oh man, if things don't work out, I'll figure it out. And they're like, would you go get a job? And I'm like, no, I'll just find something else to do. I think you could probably relate to that, right?
100%. Yeah. Plan B for me is not getting a job. Plan B is like, what other businesses out there? What other startup can I work with? Where can I work? I cracked the code on me making money for the rest of my life. I really believe that. I believe that for the rest of my life, I will never make less than 6 figures. So, and that to me, 6 figures is like, you and I both know 6 figures ain't shit. Like, you're high-fiving each other, like, cool. 7 figures enough. I'm trying to get, in order for me to get generational wealth, retire my parents, retire my family, really make a fucking name for myself, where I didn't graduate from college. I barely graduated from high school. My parents didn't come from money. My dad works in Uber. My mom works in an office making $20K a year. Like, I didn't come from money. I'm not like that. People are like, oh, you're Jewish, you're rich. I'm like, bro, I fucking wish. Like, no, my parents are not rich. Everything we have, there's no way. So for me, they were actually my biggest inspirations because I love them to death, but I wanted my life to be nothing like theirs. I saw how hard they work and the reward it didn't make sense to me. I saw the fact that they kept on telling me to go to school. They didn't even go to school, but they forced me to go to school because that was like the way, right? I was always the kid that taught what they never really wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Now I hire all their college friends that graduate from school. They can't find jobs. They come to me to find a job, right? So it's like, it's funny because I believed in this shit, in this mindset stuff. Like people are like, how did you get this mindset? How did you get to become like, how did you have this mindset? Mo, bro, to be honest with you, bro, most of my day I spent that when I know I'm not on sales calls or on stuff like that, I listen to a lot of music that motivates me. I told this Kevin, like the reason I love rap so much is because I feel like all these songs, Tupac, Biggie, Mac Miller, Eminem, like I feel like they're writing songs about me. I'm like, damn, these guys are writing so many songs about me. This is so great. Like I sing it out loud in the shower. I'm like, these motherfuckers are writing songs about me. Reading books, right? Read and listen to podcasts. I love, in my head, I'm like, how do I become someone like Joe Rogan, right? Love Joe. You have to surround yourself with people like that, right? So I realized that it all boils down to the reason I'm at where I'm at right today. Yeah, I'm working hard. I'm relatively smart. But the number one reason is because I was able to surround myself with people like Kevin, right? Because if I stop working today, dude, Kevin's going to fight a Colombian and punch me in the face. Like, there's just no way. And I don't want to get punched in the face by an amateur boxer going to be a professional boxer. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there's too many people counting on me. So when there's too many people counting on you, you don't want to fail.
Yeah.
Most of the people that may be listening to this or will be listening to this at some point, there's not enough people counting on you. Maybe just a couple people. And you're like, I'll let them down. It doesn't matter. I have literally hundreds of people counting on me. I don't know if that sounds braggadocious. I'm really not trying to come braggadocious on this, where I feel like every day I have to level up and do something extraordinary in order to make ends meet, to say the least.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. And you know, something you said there that really, you know, caught my attention, and it's something I like to always share with people is, you know, and this is a super old saying, right? You really become who you surround yourself around, 100%, man. And
Yes.
And that is absolutely zero disrespect to anyone that I've hung out with in the past.
Yeah.
I think we all have our different lives. We all find different happiness in different ways, right? So some people love to work that 9 to 5 life. Some people love to do those things, and that's great. You know, no disrespect. But for me, that's not what I wanted, and so I definitely understand what you mean. Because when I started surrounding around a lot of these people, you know, through social media and stuff, and you know, before I even came into the group where I met you, I met somebody else who was doing really good in the agency world, right? And he was actually really, really fucking cool. And I still talk to him, and I still talk to him every week. And he's actually kind of like a coach of mine. And then I met you, you know, and then I started talking to other people around there, you know, Samantha, a lot of Justin Connor, a lot of these people, right? And your mindset changes, man. And honestly, and not just like talking to them online, but like when I met you, and everybody knows this now, the day I came back from Colombia, dude, you can ask my girl, bro. Everything just took off, bro. Everything took off, and it was just like a whole mindset change. Because you know, like no disrespect to you, but like you even said this yourself all the time. But it's like if I could do it, anybody can do it. When I met you, and I was like, damn, Omer's just like a regular guy, just like me. Like he's just a regular guy who just hustles. And I was like, damn, I'm fucking slacking. So I came back, and it just changed my whole mindset, right? And it was. You're right. You know, you say it all the time. It's who you surround yourself around, who you're spending time around, or who you're talking to, who's counting on you, right? And you get to a point where people do count on you, right? In the beginning, everybody wants to take you down and, you know, hate on you. But when you start surrounding around the right people, those people actually cheer for you. And I know for me, like, I'm very thankful because you always got my back, and I don't know, the people always got my back. So I know you probably feel the same way.
It's 100%, bro. It's crazy because we never met before a month or 2 months ago, right? And I felt like same that what you said. I felt like you had my back, I have your back, and I want everybody that comes my way, whether you're a client or not. That there's a lot of people that are non-7FA that I like talk to regularly, whether they're an agency owner or not. It's not about just selling you. Like I know I can sell anyone. I don't care about that. It's about actually like giving back, and it comes back. Right. I knew that even if you were in a group for like a few months, right, going through some stuff, whatever, I knew that as long as I'm here and as long as I'm providing value, at some point you're going to come back. I don't care if it's this year, if it's next year, you're gonna come back because you're gonna want to be a part of what we're building because you see it just from my point of view. And then you get to meet someone else like Samantha that's getting success. And now you have other pillars in the real estate niche, and there's other industries that you get to surround yourself with. So dude, it's amazing because I really wish some people got to enjoy the reaps of what this life is, because dude, if you told me 2.5 years ago, I wouldn't have to really worry about money as much. I'm taking care of myself 100%. I live in a foreign country and I get to do literally whatever I want to do. I would be like, Kevin, you're fucking crazy. Like, I don't think it's going to happen 2.5 years. And here we are, you know, like I have a plan now to like retire my mom. Like I literally have a plan in mind of how I can retire my mom successfully without like, I'm retiring her. You know what I mean? Like I have a plan of how like I can take care of my family. Like what the next step look like. And it's crazy, bro. One of the things I noticed was when in the beginning, no one pays attention. Nobody cares. And most people don't care if you succeed or not. They actually want you not to succeed so you can come back and do the same bullshit that you did before with them. But when you start making money and you start becoming more noticeable and you have clients that believe in you and you have clients that have testimonials with you, then people start paying attention. I have people reaching out to me I had someone the other day that, you know, we're cool, we're friends, but he was never like my best friend, ever. He was never my best friend. He was my neighbor. We hung out a few times in high school. We hung out a few times in middle school, but we were never like, he had his own group, I had my own group. And he was also a year older than me. And it's crazy. He called me out of nowhere, just asking me for suggestions, all that stuff. And I gave him some of my time, you know, 20, 30 minutes, give him my fucking spiel, all that stuff. And I was like, David, you know what's crazy is because if I wasn't successful right now, you would never call me. And he's like, well, dude, no, that's not true. I'm like, David, it's okay. I'm telling you this because I know, because this is the same thing for you. Maybe if I saw you were killing it and I was in your position, I would call you. But you and I are not like close friends to where you're going to call me out of nowhere just to see how I am. You wanted advice from me. But 2 years ago, you would have never called me. You never called me. So it made me realize, I'm like, damn, I want more people like that, because I really want to help more people than they actually think. And it's not about the money. Like you and I, Kevin, we talked about this when we met. We cracked the code on how to make money. You know that you can go back to the bank and make 6 figures. So you know that your daughter will never go starving. That fucking feels pretty good. And I know that I can take care of myself forever, for as long as I need to. Maybe if I had, you know, a wife and a kid, I'm sure I can take care of them too. But most people don't know that. And most people are scared, especially with COVID and, you know, there's all these uncertainties and the market being down and crypto's up and then crypto's down and then market is up. Like there's too many uncertainties. So when you're certain about something, especially when it's about yourself and your abilities and your skills, bro, more people need to be heard. And I think, I really think that most people are selfish, bro. I really do think that. I used to not think that, but I think most people are selfish and they don't see the upside. They don't see what can actually happen, what the positive is. But yeah, man, it's crazy, bro. We're fucking blessed.
No, for sure, man. And I like what you said there with the, you know, the whole bringing up the stock market and crypto and investments and stuff. And really, like, the biggest thing you can invest in is yourself. You know, crazy. No matter what stock's out there, no matter what it is, biggest investment you can make in is yourself, you know. And I mean, I know you call me, everybody started to call me that now too. Everybody calls me KR27. They don't even call me my name anymore. And it's funny because that was my investment, right? My investment was that. It was my not even the agency. It was just more of a branding myself for my daughter, right? And so I get it, man. And I know for you, you know, kind of to move a little bit more forward to where you're at now, I know you do the sales, you're doing pretty well there, right? You're hitting way more than 6 figures, right? But I know you also started something else that I want you to share with people here, because there's going to be some agency owners that listen to this and I want them to know what you're doing now.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Back in November, late October, November, one of the VAs that I worked with, his name was Pablo. We exactly a year ago, we actually got stuck in Colombia together, me, him, and like 3 other people, Marcos being one of them, his girlfriend at the time, and another person. So 5 of us got stuck in Colombia. We literally could not leave. There was no flights in and out. So we got stuck in this big ass house together. So I got to know everybody like really well. And you know, this was like literally a year ago today. This was a year ago in March and April of 2020. And then, you know, me and Pablo was staying in touch and whatnot, but in October, he hit me up. He's like, listen, man, I fucking love this agency. I love what I'm doing, but I feel stuck. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. Like, I don't know if I want to be here. He felt very uncertain, even though the company is doing great. They do well over 200K a month and all that good stuff. And I was like, dude, I honestly don't know. Maybe I can get you finding another VA job. Like, let me get back to you. I don't really know. And it's crazy. That week, I actually lost 2 deals to our competitors, strictly because Kevin, they offer VAs and we don't. We have a better program, better coaching, more content, more value, bigger course, more testimonials, everything better. The only reason I lost those 2 deals is because they offer VAs and we don't. And I was like, damn, I lost 2 deals because we have VAs and we can't get VAs. Let me hit up Pablo. Let's see if he can give me VAs. I'm like, yo, Pablo, do you think you can give me some VAs, like some names of VAs, and maybe I can use them and see what happens? He's like, yeah, man, let me get back to you. Literally, Kevin, within that a couple of days, he gave me hundreds of VAs, literally from Ecuador, Colombia, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, wow, that was a lot. And at the time I was working with his sister. So his sister was actually my VA. He was working in the agency. So I'm working with these 2 siblings and I'm like, guys, I think there's something here. And pretty crazy, bro. Like in the last 4.5-5 months since November, we've done right around 40K in rev, 100% organic. We've not spent a single penny on ads. We actually just started running ads to get more VAs. And we just got our first sale from running ads, which is pretty awesome. So one of my passions is recruiting. I've been hooking up my friends with jobs, and now I'm hooking up people from all over the world. Kevin actually got a VA for me, which is pretty awesome. So he's a testimonial of its own.
Hey, I'm gonna tell Ariana to listen to this because I want her to know that she's amazing, dude. Yes, she's a beast, dude. She's awesome.
One of the things I always make sure is like, look, I'm going to find you the right VA. No matter how long it takes us, we will find you the right person, because sometimes it's not the first person that's the right person, right? Your first client that you sign up is probably not with you today. Sometimes the first is never the best, right? So, but I really, really see a hole in this game when it comes to hiring and training VAs, and I want to fulfill that. And that's where it came. It literally was an accident. Some of the greatest things in the world, Kevin, start as accidents.
Yeah.
I was an accident. I don't know if you were, but I was actually literally an accident.
It's true, man. You're 100% right. I feel like a lot of things happen. Some of the best things happen in accidents. Another thing I like to think about is a lot of the best things happen when bad things happen. That's one of my mindsets. Like, I've always been big on making the negatives into positive, right? So sometimes that also happens. So that's great though, man. That's awesome, because I know that you're killing it over there. And Omer's VAs, man, they're all coached, they're all trained. They go over stuff every single week, man. They are amazing, and a lot of them speak Spanish too. So guys, if you're looking for a VA and you need somebody that speaks Spanish, man, Omer's your guy. And if he doesn't have one, if he doesn't have what you need, he will find what you need. Like, this guy will go out. He will literally probably leave the house while on quarantine in Colombia and go find you a VA.
Yes, 100%. Like I want to do what's right. Kevin knows that's my integrity matters more than money. Yeah, integrity matters more than money, and I don't think that's the case for most people. I think money matters more than integrity. So I've built something way too big to fall down. So yeah, I'm excited, dude. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, just because like a few months ago, my VA tried to give me that idea as well. She was like, the other VA I had before Ariana, right? She's still around with me too. She was like, we should train VAs and this and that. And I was like, man, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I could do it. And now obviously it's a little bit different. But I don't want to take too much of your time, man. So I want to make sure we kind of, because I know we got another call coming up pretty soon. And then, so let's, I just want to let people know, where can they find you if they need something from you, kind of like just end goals of what your plans are for this year. And that's about it, man. Yeah.
Find me in my first name, last name, Omer Bloch. I'm probably the only Omer Bloch you guys are ever going to meet in your life. So pretty cool, pretty unique name. I don't say cool, nothing's cool, but pretty unique name. So Omer Bloch. And yeah, I mean, the plans is I want to get Fava to a high six figure a year business, like starting to collect 30, 40, 50K in profit. And I want to take 7-figure agency, which is the company I sell for, to multiple 8 figures this year, high 8-figure company. And dude, help more clients like yourself, Kevin. Like one of my biggest prides is going to be when you hit 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a month. I know you're going to show me a sick ass testimonial. So yeah.
That's the goal, dude. 100. My goal was 200K at 200K before the end of the year. So
yes, I'm excited, cool, bro. I'm excited. Hopefully people listen to this and take some advice and take one thing away. If not, no worries. I always love talking to you. And either way, it was great.
No, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time, dude. Thank you so much. And everybody, hopefully they listen, got something out of this. And if you guys ever need anything and you can't find Omer, just reach out to me and I'll find Omer for you.
Yes, there we go. I love that.
All right, man. You have a good day.
Yes.
Bye.